What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. So last stream, after I ended that, um, I realized that I was a complete idiot. I completely forgot to talk about School Spirits episode 4. So I apologize for that. As soon as I ended it, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to talk about School Spirits. So I apologize. That was stupid. But so I'm gonna have to talk about episodes 4 and 5 for this one. But we'll start with episode 4. Um, let me get my screen shared first. If anything, sorry that I'm late as well. Go here. But yeah, episode 4, the Bear Rift Fest Club. I don't know what that says. So, yeah, episode 4 picks up, things getting a little eerie with Simon and Wally's, um, I guess you can call it. Simon grabs Simon loses Mr. Martin's watch during the chaos of episode 3. So I like Simon and Wally working together in a way, and the guilt weighing down on them for lying to Maddie. But then we see the stuff Maddie's going through as her mom Sandra leaves to go to rehab, I guess, or like just for her to like detox or whatever, and give Maddie some space, whatever, which I do like. But we see more of Maddie's, visions and nightmares, showing that she's still connected to the Split River High afterlife thing. Um, but she keeps seeing the boiler room, which is where she woke up in season 1. And I like how, Xavier's being a good friend to Maddie's, generally trying to help her. Um, so I really like what they're doing with Xavier's character in this season so far. Um, so definitely one of the best characters in this season so far. And Nicole, Xavier, and Claire and Maddie have to go to detention for like the entire episode. So they pretty much have to like sneak around the entire school without getting caught by the principal. Um, then Maddie scolds Wally for going into the hole with Simon. Then, they both lie to her and they don't feel great about that. Then Simon thinks that the hole is a church. Um, and then Maddie reveals to Simon that, she got to talk to her dad, which that was a nice scene. Um, yeah, this episode was pretty much, them sneaking around the school because they're in detention. Um, so they're trying to find more clues and more answers um, to like the school's like history and stuff like that. Um, Let me see if I can screen share normally. And then you have the superintendent, Hunter Price, pretty much the principal for the state that the school's in. Doesn't even look that bad, but she just been a pretty annoying antagonist throughout the season so far. Um, and then Quinn gets high on something, and she has like this whole like dream thing um, in 2004, and then she tries to kiss Rhonda, and Rhonda's like, "Whoa, slow down." Um, so yeah, that whole thing was kind of weird. And then Maddie runs into the janitor, Mr. South, and he helps her out. He's a pretty good side character. Yeah, the whole like Quinn hallucinating scene was kind of weird. Yeah, pretty solid episode. And then there's this scene where the principal catches them on the cameras, so they have to all rush back to the detention room. And by the time he gets there, they're on the detention room, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Um, so that was a funny scene. And yeah, the episode ends with Wally and Simon going back into the hole looking for Martin's watch. Then that dark entity thing starts walking towards Simon and Wally, shouts at them that they need to leave, but Simon says no. And then it kind of just grabs Simon's face and lifts him up. It was a pretty shocking ending. Yeah, pretty solid episode. Let's go to episode 5. Raiders of the Lost Scar. That's a pretty good title, not gonna lie. But basically, this episode kind of starts out with these kids singing some sort of like rhyme or whatever in a church. Then it cuts to present day. Pretty much Simon and Wally telling the other ghosts about the encounter with the weird bald dude or whatever. But they start referring to the ghost as White Eyes. And Simon thinks that, White Eyes touched him, went through some kind of mind melding experience. And that he was showing him, memories of the day he died, which is pretty interesting. But Rhonda believes that White Eyes is Alfred Van Height, the adult who drowned those kids. They quickly agree they need to go back to the scar and find out. But Simon decides to stay back and process his whole encounter with the dude, which Charlie volunteers to stay with him. Xavier tries to talk to Tracy about the ghost that he's been talking to at the hospital, but she really doesn't want to talk about it like at all. And then Maddie and Xavier go to the hospital to like talk to her dad and the other ghost, Kyle, I think his name is. And then Maddie's dad asks Xavier to give the old nurse's message to Maddie. And Maddie starts going through the visions again. Then Wally, Rhonda, Martin, Yuri, and Quinn start exploring the church. They find wall drawings captivating as they attempt to decipher the meaning. They try to make their way back to the stairs, but Quinn sees a kid ghost that asks them to be quiet. And back in the real world, Maddie, Nicole, and Claire watch Julia Price narrate Puppet Show honoring Van Height. And then Simon, Charlie, and that he never even replied to her messages because he's afraid that she resented him from being born because she died, or his biological mother died. And it gets revealed that the school is going to be permanently demolished, and that Maddie's friends in the ghost world will permanently be trapped. Um, and then they talk to like this weird like lady about like a spiritual reading that does like spiritual readings or whatever weird thing that is. Martin then thinks that Simon was purposely pulled into the ghost world, figure out what happened at the church. And then Maddie panics when she lost her backpack, which Olivia took it earlier, which she's been pretty annoying this season, but ended up not being that big of a deal because Xavier got it back at the end. But basically, the cliffhanger is after talking to Tracy, Xavier realizes that another spirit has possessed Kyle's body. Tomorrow's episode. Uh, so yeah, pretty good episode. It's got an 8.5 on here, which IMDb ratings you have to kind of take with it. Only got 3 episodes left. So yeah, the cliffhanger has been very good. Predictions for episode 6. They're probably gonna try and find whatever ghost is possessing Kyle, and we're probably gonna get more answers on the White Eyes ghost. Um, so we'll probably see more answers on that. But yeah, pretty good season so far. Tomorrow it'll officially be 1 month left until Invincible season 4. Very exciting. I've been rewatching Invincible, and I've been rewatching Invincible. Before season 4 comes out. I'm on season 2, episode 2. Season 1 is very good, especially the last 2 episodes. Oh man, when Omni Man starts showing his true colors, and him and Cecil are going at it in episode 7, and the cliffhanger of that episode, when Mark sees his true colors and he's like, "Son, we need to talk," and that episode 8 goes right into it. I mean, episode 8 is so good. The season 1 finale is phenomenal. But we'll get into see if there's any film news and any sports news. We just had the All-Star break. Wasn't that good, if I'm being honest. I think some people are overreacting, saying like, "Oh, All-Star weekend is saved." No, it's not. Okay. McKinney Grace has officially been cast as Daphne in the live action Scooby Doo. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who this is, she was in, or she's going to be in Scream 7. She was in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I haven't watched yet. And she was in a movie called Regretting You, which came out not that long ago. She's a pretty good actress, so decent choice. Um, Toy Story 5 will bring back Jesse's old owner, Emily. Steph Curry's movie GOAT made back 60% of its $80 million budget in just 48 hours. The trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day has probably been delayed to March. Of course it has. Zendaya's MJ will have red hair in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh boy. Bro, they're doing a Scream 8, bro. How many Scream movies do they need to make? Holy crap, we're just freaking milking it dry at this point. Terminator Zero, canceled by Netflix after just one season. I never even heard of it. Sam Wilson will still be the main Captain America after Avengers Secret Wars. I don't care what anyone says, he should just be Falcon. Steve Rogers will have a central role in the plot of Avengers Doomsday. Joe Keery says he wants to play Harry Osborn in the MCU. Yeah, I've heard this go around a lot recently. It's got a first look at Tom Holland's Spider-Man with organic webbing and Brand New Day. Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be. Like, I don't get the whole freaking web shooters thing. Like, it should, like, the organic webbing should be a part of his powers. So, I don't know. I hate the freaking mediums that where he has to make his own web fluid and put them into web shooters. I just don't like it. These next 2 years will be insane for superhero movies. I don't necessarily agree. Supergirl, I don't think is going to be good at all. Spider-Man: Brand New Day, I hope it's good. Um, I'm just concerned that they're trying to do too much. Avengers: Doomsday, I don't think is going to be very good. Same for Secret Wars. I just think both those movies are just going to be purely fan service. Clayface, I don't know why they're doing a movie on Clayface. It's just not necessary. Man of Tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be that good. Beyond the Spider-Verse will probably be good because I've heard the Miles Morales Spider-Verse movies are good. The Batman Part 2, I hope it's good. As long as James Gunn's not involved with it, I think it'll be good. Stranger Things prequel based on Vecna's officially in the works at Netflix. It'll be interesting, I guess. It'll be based on Stranger Things, the first Shadow Broadway show. Yeah, I never watched that. I think that's it for the film and TV stuff. So we did get some NFL news recently. mainly with the Miami Dolphins. So yeah, the Dolphins released wide receiver Tyreek Hill. So yeah, this is pretty obvious since week 4 that they were gonna, release him. Mike Daniels is gone. New coach, new regime. So it made sense for them to move on. He's getting older. He suffered a really bad injury in week 4. It just was not good. I think he should retire, but he might, go to a different team. A lot of people are already saying that he's going to go back to the Chiefs, which would not surprise me in the slightest. But yeah, prime Tyreek Hill, very good player. Really fast going down the field. It's made ridiculous catches. So yeah, we'll see if he decides to hang it up and retire or, join a new team. And the Dolphins also released edge rusher Bradley Chubb. They could have traded him at the deadline, but they didn't, so they're just going to let him go for absolutely nothing. But yeah, obviously cap casualties to free up money because they're not in the best financial situation. But Bradley Chubb's a nice, veteran pass rusher. So I definitely think teams are going to be inquiring about him. And then, yeah, football is over till next September. Which means basketball is in full swing. Yeah, Damian Lillard won the 3-point shootout contest, which, completely surprised me because he hasn't played all year because he's been torn Achilles. But he's able to participate in the 3-point contest and he wins the damn thing. And then Keyshawn Johnson of the Miami Heat won the dunk contest, which I hate how they have random scrubs compete in the dunk contest. Like, it's ridiculous. And then I believe Team USA, the Stars, I think, won. I don't remember. I think it was the Stars. I know. Actually, it might have been the Stripes who won. I know LeBron's team lost, which I was surprised that Team World lost because they have that team is stacked. I mean, they had freaking Wemby, so. But Anthony Edwards won All-Star MVP, which I'm sure Noah's happy about that. But yeah, that's pretty much the All-Star weekend for you. Let's see. Nahshon Wright. Oh, nothing's official. Okay. Vikings are an ideal fit for Kyler Murray. I don't agree. First off, Minnesota is in a really bad cap situation, and Kyler has one of the worst contracts in the league. So they literally can't trade for him because of, the salary cap situation. So, he would have to get released and they have to sign him to like a super cheap deal. So I don't really like the fit, to be honest. This would be crazy. So Kenneth Walker won Super Bowl MVP, but the Seahawks are not expected to place the franchise tag on him or the transition tag. But so he's going to hit unrestricted free agency once the new league year opens on March 11th. But they're going to be focused on signing some of their other free agents, which I get it. Running back is probably one of the most replaceable positions in football. Your running back's only going to do as good as your offensive line. But at the same time, the dude won Super Bowl MVP. Like, he was a big part of their offense. And you're just going to let him go for nothing? Like, I just don't agree with that. I know they have Charbonnet, but still. And then, yeah, Anthony Richardson needs to get traded. I think he just needs a fresh start. He just hasn't been able to develop because of injuries, which is unfortunate. Stephon Diggs could be a release candidate. I actually agree with this, given all the off-the-field drama going on with his breakup with Cardi B, which I really don't give two shits about Cardi B, if I'm just being honest. But he's dealing with the legal situation right now. So, just life not going good for Diggs right now. Okay, and this is just ridiculous. They're not trading CJ Stroud. Number one, nobody's trading for him. Number two, then they have no quarterback, so it literally makes no sense. And he's on a rookie scale contract, so they have no reason to trade him. Tyreek on the Vikings would be kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Jefferson, Tyreek. I know Tyreek's not really in his prime anymore, but he can still play and be competitive. Like Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and Jordan Addison. Like, that's just not fair, dude. That'd be crazy. I'm guessing that's George Pickens. Yeah, these are some of the teams that Tyree can go to. Chargers would be interesting. Packers needed a true wide receiver one. Commanders wouldn't surprise me since they love signing old players. The Ravens would be fun. Chiefs are obviously going to be brought up. And Juwan Jennings is expected to leave San Fran. Yeah, Wando Robinson is probably going to get a huge payday because he had a career year because of the Malik Neighbors injury. And the Jaguars going to be playing Travis Hunter full-time corner. That is a position of need for Jacksonville, so hopefully he can do it. Yeah, kind of similar situation with Seattle. They need to bring him back. Big part of their offense. Pickens could be traded for a second-round pick. I would just try to keep him. But yeah, pretty sure they are going to franchise tag him, which makes sense. You don't want to lose him for nothing. Max Crosby on the Eagles. Trinidad Chambliss, better Ole Miss quarterback than Jackson Dart. Been granted an injunction by a court in Mississippi that makes him eligible to play for the Rebels in 2026. Yeah, I think he'd be a solid quarterback. Okay, and then Will Campbell gets invited by Teron Armstead. to Trantham in Dallas, he better take that offer. If he doesn't, he's an idiot. But people predict this every year, and it never happens. Will it finally happen? Will we see the Bosa brothers play together in San Fran? I want it to happen so bad, but it never happens. And Cortland Sutton might leave Denver. I mean, he is 30 years old. Yeah, Denver is going to need to bring in some receivers. Rams veteran offensive tackle Rob Havenstein has announced his retirement after 11 seasons. Yeah, he's a very good tackle for the Rams for a long time. So it's unfortunate, but, what do you do? And now with David Njoku, pretty much departing Cleveland, Harold Fannon's going to have a pretty good year for Cleveland for the next couple of years because he was very good for them. But we'll get into some NBA games. I don't think we have much because of the All-Star break. Yeah, NBA regular season resumes Thursday. But we'll go to last Tuesday, which we don't have much, like I said, because of All-Star Weekend. Okay. The Pacers beat the Knicks in overtime at home. Brunson put up 40 points, 24 and 10 from Nembhard. This is hilarious because, as you can see, the Pacers are one of the worst records in the league. This is funny. Then Rockets beat the Clippers. I believe they played them twice. Suns beat the Mavericks, 10 points, 10 rebounds for Oso Ighodaro, 31 from Najee Marshall. And then the Spurs completely waxed the Lakers. Lakers defense is horrible. 40 points, 12 rebounds from Wemby. He was phenomenal in that game. Just able to do whatever he wanted. calling it right now. Lakers are either going to be a first round exit or they're going to be a play-in exit. You got Hawks, Hornets. The Hornets played really well. I mean, they were 15-27 a month ago. Now they're 26-29. What a turnaround for the Hornets. They might get into the playoffs. But yeah, they beat the Hawks by 3. Brandon Miller with 31 points. 19-13 from Jalen Johnson. Cavs blow out the Wizards. Magic lose to the Bucks. Cam Thomas made his Bucks debut. Well, they didn't blow out the Magic, but they beat the Magic. Cam Thomas put up 34 points, played really well. Celtics blow out the Bulls. Nikola Vucevic, revenge game. Had his best game as a Celtic, 19 points, 11 rebounds. He was 4-5 from 3. Pritchard, 26 points off the bench. Mattis Buzelis, probably, other than Josh Giddey, probably the best player the Bulls have right now, with 15 points. Pacers beat the Nets by 5. Knicks blow out the Sixers. Jose Alvarado with 26 points. Maxey with 32. Pistons beat the Raptors pretty confidently. 28 points for Cade. 17 points for Scotty Barnes. And the Clippers split with the Rockets. Kawhi was phenomenal in this game. 27 points, 12 rebounds, 21 points from Kevin Durant, who is getting flamed right now for having burner accounts, calling out his own teammates. So, yeah, that's awesome. And then Timberwolves beat the Blazers pretty confidently. Julius Randle, 41 points, 23 out of Drew Holiday, Celtic legend. Heat beat the Pelicans, 27-14 from Bam, plus 4 blocks, 25 from Zion. Thunder blow out the Suns, unfortunately. Dylan Brooks with 23 points, 28 from J-Dub. Jazz blow out the Kings. Jaren Jackson did play in that game, 23 points. Nuggets beat the Grizzlies, 26, 15, and 11 for Jokic, a triple-double, 21 from Gigi Jackson. And Spurs come back and beat the Warriors, 27 points from De'Aaron Fox. Bucks blow out the Thunder on the road. 16 points, 13 rebounds from Chet Holmgren. Ousmane Yang, the former Thunder, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Nice revenge game for him. Blazers beat the Jazz pretty confidently. 23 Klingon, 18 rebounds. Kyle Filipowski, 15 points. And then Lakers blow out the Mavericks by 20. I believe the Mavericks are on a 9-game losing streak. Yikes. LeBron with a triple-double. Brandon Williams, 17 points. And then that's pretty much it. So, yeah, NBA will be back on Thursday night. So, yeah. And then to cap off the stream, do another NFL mock draft. Me trying out different scenarios. I think the first 2 picks will be the same, but I'm going to try and change it up as much as possible. All right. So first two picks, same as last week. Mendoza one to the Raiders, which is pretty much a lock. And then Arvell Reese to the Jets. Cardinals at 3. Last week, we had them pick Maui Goa. This week, they're going to be taking Spencer Fano out of Utah. Again, not the best value pick, but they really don't have a lot of options there. And then the Titans, last week, we went Ruben Bain. This week, we're going to go David Bailey instead from Texas Tech. Really good edge rusher, had a really good year for them. Can get to the quarterback, get pressures in there. So, a very good player. The Giants at 5. I'm going to go Caleb Downs here. Now that John Harbaugh's there, he likes to, use safeties, with Kyle Hamilton. So he gets his Kyle Hamilton and Caleb Downs here in New York. So that's pretty good for them. And then for the Browns, we're gonna go tackle here. We'll go Maui Goa to the Browns here. And then Commanders at 7. We're gonna go Sony Styles from Ohio State, really good linebacker. Arvell Reese's teammate arguably outplayed him during down the stretch of the season. Then we got the Saints at 8. I think last week I had them take Jeremiah Smith, I think. I don't remember. Or it might have been Mekhi Lemon. I don't remember. This week we're having to take Carnell Tate, receiver out of Ohio State. Back-to-back Ohio State picks here. But yeah, I think it'd be a nice fit next to Chris Olave. And the Chiefs at 9, probably one of the most popular mocks. Jeremiah Love, need to upgrade running back. The Bengals, they get a steal in Ruben Bain here at Miami. Then the Dolphins at 11. I know they need secondary, but with the release of Tyreek Hill, Mekhi Lemon makes a ton of sense. Again, I understand they need corner. I get that. But they are lacking wide receiver depth as well. All right, Dallas is interesting. We could go edge here. But we're going to go Mansour Delane to Dallas. They absolutely need to improve that secondary. The Rams at 13. We'll go Jermon McCoy. They need to improve their secondary pretty badly. Ravens, last time we did Peter Woods. This time we are going to go Vega Ione, the best true guard in this class. It's a position of need for them. Buccaneers, last time we had them take Kenyon Sadiq. We're going to have them take an edge here. We have them take Keldrick Folk from Auburn. And the Jets, they need another receiver. We're going to have them take Jordan Tyson, receiver out of Arizona State, falls because of injury concerns. The Lions do need another edge, but they also need corner. We'll go Avion Terrell, who is obviously AJ Terrell's brother. The Vikings, they're going to get a steal, and Peter Woods here. Need depth at defensive tackle, especially with Jonathan Allen up there in age. Carolina, I believe last time I had them take TJ Parker. We're going to go CJ Allen from Georgia, pretty good linebacker. And the Cowboys at 20, they need to improve edge. They take a swing on TJ Parker from Clemson. All right, the Steelers, last time I had them take Denzel Boston, but could go for Ty Simpson. You could sit him. You can sit him behind Aaron Rodgers for a year potentially. But yeah, Chargers on the board. Last time went Vega Ione. They could go defensive tackle, but we are going to go Caden Proctor here. In this scenario, he'd be moving inside to guard. A lot of people are comparing him to Evan Neal, which is not a good sign. All right, the Eagles. We're going to go Kenyon Sadiq here. And then looking to move on from Dallas Goedert, and you get a much cheaper option here in Kenyon Sadiq. Browns up next. They need to add receiver. I'm going to go Denzel Boston from Washington. He will go up and grab the football. Bears, last time we took Caden McDonald. We're going to go Lee Hunter from Texas Tech. His draft stock's improved a little bit, but they need to stop the run. The Bills, we're going to get KC Concepcion, pretty solid receiver. Then we have the Niners here. We're going to go Akeem Mezider, a bit of an older prospect, but he'll be able to play right away. So that's the good thing about him. And then the Texans at 28 need to improve offensive line, but they could go defensive tackle as well. But we're going to have them go Emmanuel Pregnon, guard out of Oregon. I'm pretty sure I went there last time. And then with the retirement of Rob Havenstein, Monroe Freeland makes a lot of sense. Then the Broncos at 30. We are going to go get Omar Cooper in there. He was a really good weapon for Fernando Mendoza. Patriots at 31. Last time we took Caleb Lamu. Honestly, we're probably going to do the same here. We're going to go Caleb Lamu. Patriots need to improve offensive line. All right, and then Seahawks. This is interesting. We're going to go Brandon Cisse from South Carolina. Caden McDonald falls out of the first round, unfortunately. I probably should have mocked him to the Bears instead of Lee Hunter. But yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of players that get snubbed, unfortunately. Yeah, that is the second mock draft. Yeah, some of them are the same. I tried to change, most of them up. But yeah, I feel like after the first pick, it's going to be completely unpredictable. Like anything could happen. But yeah, next year's class is supposed to be way better in 2027. Yeah, that's going to do it, guys. That's all I really have for you this week. Hopefully I can do my Stranger Things video soon of ranking all the seasons, but thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a good week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.